In the laboratory of the Delpech pharmacy in Paris, medicines are being prepared. In this case, it's the common antibiotic, amoxicillin. The owner here says since people stopped wearing masks, they are catching more infections again, so the demand for simple medication is higher, and the major pharmaceutical companies cannot keep up. The shortage of medicine applies across Europe. At this Berlin pharmacy, staff are increasingly having to find alternative drugs to those doctors have prescribed in order to help their patients.
Basically, we have a lot more work to do to supply the population with medicines. So far, we've still somehow found a solution for people, but we often have to improvise. So sometimes we release another active ingredient more strongly than was prescribed and then have to adjust the dosage.
Even simple treatments to treat coughs and colds are harder to come by.
I would have preferred a cough syrup, but the pharmacist offered it to me in tablet form. That's okay. The most important thing is it helps. The same active ingredient is in it, so I'm satisfied.
The problem is not just affecting simple painkillers and antibiotics across the continent. The European Medicines Agency says currently 13 key drugs are in short supply. 2 are for fighting arthritis and help combat the symptoms of COVID. Another 2 are to help patients who've had a heart attack or a stroke. Among the remainder are drugs to fight leukemia, diabetes, and to prevent the rejection of transplants. One of Germany's leading oncologists told me why he believes this is happening.
The major problem is that most production sites are not close to us. So they're not in Europe anymore, but they're like in India and China, which is cheap, but it makes a very complex supply chain, not only in providing the basic product, but also to get it through Europe, to get it distributed within Europe, and thus the European Commission has decided to give incentives for production sites in Europe, but that takes decades.
Right now, some say the EU needs to consider building up a stock of 3 to 4 months' supply of the most needed medications so that shortages can be avoided. Back at the pharmacy in Lichtenberg, patients are still getting the treatments they need, but it's clear that staff here and across Europe are having to improvise solutions for their customers. Dominic Kane, Al Jazeera, Berlin.